How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here with another Moon Knight episode review and recap. Today's episode is episode 3, The Friendly Type. Before I begin, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. All three of those things help out the channel immensely. Especially don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified of more videos just like this. And please share the video. We're trying to get to 200 subscribers, and you know what? I believe we can do that. Yes, I do. Just like I know that Khonshu believes in Mark, not so much Steven. Very interesting episode. We are hit with more information. It's kind of funny. I'm trying to think on how you compare this to other episodes, or should I say other series, right? When you think about Loki, the whole deal was, oh man, so what's going on with this variant thing? And you go from one thing to the next, and we're like, okay, well, who's the killer? Then we solve that, but then who's really the bad guy? Ooh, pardon me. And when you think about Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's clear cut. We got to stop the terrorists. Okay, turns out that the new Captain America is a jackass. You get towards the end, okay, he's not too much of a jackass. His friend got killed, but okay. I think, what's another series? WandaVision was just great. It's really hard to, WandaVision, you're just trying to figure out what the hell is going on, right? But here, we're given information. It's really good world building. Um, got my notes here. I'm gonna skip early. We get a name drop in Madripoor, um, because apparently Layla has connections with the underworld when it comes to collecting priceless Egyptian artifacts. She is in fact Egyptian, I believe. It's kind of hard to figure that out when an accomplice is making a passport for her, but she does say that's why you look like you're sad, even though you're going back home. Because her and Mark apparently have been married for a long time, but apparently she has just caught up with him after 10 years. That's at least that's what I gathered from her talking to this person. And we don't get a name for this person. We don't get a name for a couple people, but we don't get a name for her. And I thought, oh, maybe that's Ducamp. Maybe they changed Ducamp from a he to a she. And maybe she is in between, but no, she's just an old family accomplice or associate and accomplice because Layla's dad did can't believe I can't say archaeology. There you go. He does that type of work. Can't ever do it when you're thinking about it, right? He did that kind of work, took her to dig sites, but apparently she doesn't steal these artifacts back. Steal them. She takes them back because they're already stolen, and every once in a while, she keeps some so she can make some money. That's how you gotta survive, right? Money makes the world turn. Man. But anyway, um, you get that was a sentence that pretty much can easily endear her to everyone. It reminds you of Killmonger, right? When he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take this mask. I know I'm not stealing it. I'm taking it back because y'all took it from the Africans, just like the English, European people went to Egypt and thought it was a good idea to dig up all these coffins and sarcophagus, and we're gonna take them back and show them everybody over there. Even though a lot of those came with curses. Look that up. But yeah, we do get a feeling of who Layla is. But then we get a feeling of the gods. And I'm just gonna put it out there. If you look up any readings or any mythologies, just most gods are just jackasses. They're just not dependable. Um, where am I going with this? And I thought I was gonna go piece by piece, but I'm just gonna go off the cuff. Let's go with what's first on my mind. Because they're having a hard time finding Arthur Harrow, they being Mark and Khonshu, Khonshu comes up with the idea of making a meeting amongst the gods because even Mark goes, how are the gods okay with this happening? Now, a little sub thing that's in here that it's very easy to miss, is very easy to just forget with all the things going on in this episode, is that there might be a third personality inside of Mark. What does that mean? Well, while Mark he found a guy that he was supposed to talk to about a dig site, he got killed by some of Harold's men, and the lead guy looked like the Medjai from the Mummy franchise. He looked like the cool Medjai guy. I cannot remember Brendan Fraser's the mummy. I can't remember that guy's name, but yeah, that's what he looked like. And Mark, you have Stevens going, Mark, don't kill him. And you even before he even said that, Mark, instead of punching one of the obviously young kids, he open palm Will Smith's this kid, right in the face. Instead of punching him, he's holding back punches and he's, blocking knives. And this is without the suit, mind you. And one dude even licks the knife, and Mark's like, I'm just gonna punch you. Why would I let you just lick? He even makes quippy jokes like he's like, "Are we fighting or are we dancing, guys? What's the deal here?" And you would think it was Steven that got in the way because he passes out and comes back, and he's like in the car, speaks Arabic, and the guy's like, "You speak Arabic? I thought you were a tourist." And he's like, "Where you had taking me to the airport?" And it's like, "Okay, Steven tried to get me there." Runs into these guys again, handily beats the crap out of them, and gets hit in the back of the head. Passes out. He's awake again. Body's on the floor, including when he wakes up, he's already mid stabbing the guy that looked like the Magi guy. And he's even asking Steven's like, "What did you do?" He's like, "I didn't do anything." And he's like, "Well, this wasn't me." He said, "Well, stop listening to the pigeon." And put a sidebar inside of the sidebar. Steven is getting really annoying. Like, bro, you are getting so fucking annoying. Pardon my language. I'm sorry about that. He's just getting kind of annoying. Like, I get one of the things they're trying to do is how will they, coexist? I don't need to see that again. Had two Venom movies where the second one shouldn't even been that because they should have been friends already. I don't need to see them coexist or try to coexist. You all should be like, yeah, we both care about Layla. We both don't want the world to burn. How about we work out something here? It's pretty much parallels the Hulk and Bruce Banner, doesn't it? I would hope that since they're doing this part, I would hope that somewhere down the line, Bruce and Mark and Steven all have a conversation about how to coexist with one another. But turns out the kid ends up killing himself because Khonshu was like, "Hey, just hold on over the ledge. He'll talk." And dude's leg prays to Amut and kills himself, which I didn't really feel sorry for the kid. Kids with the bad guys, who cares, right? But we get a feeling that there might be a third personality because I feel that Khonshu would openly go, "Yeah, I took over your body and I took care of the rest." But if Steven's like, "I didn't kill him," and obviously Steven was probably trying to get away and fly away like the punk that he is. If Mark's like, "I obviously wasn't trying to kill these guys, I need the information," who, who, who could it be? Thumbs up if you understood that reference. But going back to Khonshu calling the gods. So to call the Ennead, he has to make a spectacle. He makes a total solar eclipse. By the mind, Harrow and his two evil cops, which I cannot wait to see that dude and that lady. Just I can't wait. I hope Steven drums on their heads with those Moon Knight batons and just can't wait for them to be gone. I don't like a hole cops, right? But even Harold's like, "Yeah, keep digging. I'm gonna be called in a minute." And Khonshu tells him, "Yeah, all the avatars will meet, and this was gonna happen." And Mark's like, "Well, why aren't you gonna be there?" He's like, "Oh no, I'll be there." See, what the gods do is they inhabit their avatars and they speak through them. Mark even meets the avatar of Hathor. Her name is Yatil. Um, couldn't get a beat on what nationality she was. I would have said Indian, but I don't think she's Indian. She might be Pakistani. Who knows? She was not given credit in the credits. So, but regardless of that, apparently Hathor is a god of lattice of love and music, and she apparently has fond memories of Khonshu. Mark is saying like Khonshu doesn't like talking about the gods. They banished him, and Khonshu's worried about being set in stone. And the great effect, and I like that we get to hear this, and we're probably hearing it from Mark's point of view. You hear like an ethereal whisper, kind of sounds a little feminine, and what's her name? Yatil speaks saying, Khonshu used to enjoy my melodies. I like that what it sounds like to everyone else who isn't the Avatar is a faint whisper. So you wonder if that's what it sounds like to Arthur Harrow. He's I won't use other four-letter words, but I will say jackass. He is a jackass. Um, and as the gods that are present, and I definitely wrote this down. The gods that are present besides Hathor are Osiris, Tefnut, which is pretty cool. Kind of surprised Bast wasn't there, but I guess that would be too much close to Black Panther, which I mean, Moon Knight is in Egypt. Black Panther could have done something there, but oh wait. Anyway, um, so there's Horus, Osiris, Hathor, Tefnut, and Isis. Not ISIS, Isis. For obvious reasons being obvious, there is a reason why they could not say the name, and you all should know why. So their whole deal is you do something to the sky again, Khonshu, you're gonna be set in stone, blah 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 blah. Khonshu seems like a child when he's talking to them. Like he's very, I don't want to say obstinate, but he's very confrontational. And I guess you would be too because you got banished because all the gods apparently have given up on humanity. But they're like, no, humanity's given up on us. We're just, you know, that we are nothing but observers, and we observe through our avatars, and we work through them to get to our means. And Khonshu's like, if you guys don't interact, if you don't talk to humanity, and if you don't leave the overvoid, you're gonna lose the earth. Now, let's do another intersection here. So, the place that he named the overvoid, it's technically supposed to be called where am I here? It's technically supposed to be called the other void, not overvoid, other void. Maybe Mr. Murray misspoke when he said it. Maybe they just wanted to change it. But in comics lore, it is called the Other Void, aka Celestial Heliopolis. Celestial Heliopolis is where all of the Egyptian pantheon gods live. These beings, let me call them beings, these beings, that's where they exist. They were praised. As a matter of fact, some of them are still praised. Remember in Wakanda, they still praise a lot of the Egyptian gods, especially Bast. Um, but yeah, this is where they are. Looks like a big pyramid out in the void. Giant, blinding white pyramid out in the void. And there's nothing else I can say about that. Just pretty interesting that either he misspoke or they just changed the name of it for the MCU. But yes, that is where they all are. And they've hidden themselves away there, apparently. I don't know if it's they hidden themselves away or they just have to stay there. Pardon me. But their whole deal with Khonshu, they just don't believe me. Khonshu's trying to tell them, hey, I'm calling you guys here because we need to put Arthur Harrow under trial. He's trying to revive Amut. And they're like, okay, bring him forward. They call him in. And he's just like, no, I was abused by Khonshu. Khonshu's abusing this man. He's a man named Mark Spector, but his ID is Stephen Grant and blah, blah, blah. And, he's saying all this other stuff. And Khonshu tries to take a swing at him. And one of the guys does some weird, I guess it had to be a cheap effect because he doesn't open up his fingers that much to hold him in place. Mind you, another stupid thing they didn't do, not even in the subtitles, because I had to click over the subtitles because sometimes they talk too quietly. You can't hear what they're trying to say. They don't even have names for these people. They don't even have you don't even have to have the avatar's name. You're not saying which of the gods are speaking. You're not saying if it's Horus, Osiris, Tefnut. You're not saying any of that. I will say this: they all have different backgrounds. You got three looking at white dudes, but one of the guys is probably Scottish. Other dude's probably British or American. Who knows? Who cares? The third guy didn't really see him, and you have a woman who looks like she is probably from could be from Ghana. Who knows? Now, and which is fine because apparently the avatars are supposed to be scattered across the world. Now, here's the issue I have here. They asked to speak to Mark, and they're like, "Is it true? Are you unwell?" And you can see that Hathor and her avatar are both looking concernedly at Mark. And he's like, yeah, it's true. I am unwell. But that does not negate the fact about this dude. I am not the one on trial. He's trying to do this. And they're like, all right, that's enough. It's not enough charges. Blah, 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 blah. You do something else again. We're going to put you in Stone Cold Shoe. I'm going to interject right here. The gods are useless. And as a matter of fact, they are stupid. First of all, you're supposed to be gods, right? We're not going to interfere. We're just going to observe. So, in other words, you all can't see when another. Well, you can't. You all didn't even give Mark a chance to even say anything else. You didn't even get a chance to say, roll up his sleeve and look at the thing he has. He just left the cane. And he left the cane and he can walk normally all of a sudden. Is he faking that stuff too? Why don't you just ask to roll up his sleeve and look at the tattoo? And they banished Khonshu because he risked showing he risked showing the world that they exist. This is where I'm getting kind of annoyed with this writing. Humanity abandoned us, but you risk showing them that we're around. What in the hell is going on? Are you mad that he almost showed that you exist? Or are you mad that people don't pay attention to you? You cannot have your cake and eat it too. I don't understand what the point of all this is. It seems like BS. Just putting it out there. Um, yeah, I'm just putting it out there. It's really dumb. The fact that you all couldn't be like, yeah, roll up your sleeves and look. The fact that you all couldn't, you can't see it. And then, and now, for anyone, because I get sick and tired of these people on the fringes who ask these stupid questions, for anyone who was asking, where were the gods when Thanos attacked? This is where the gods were when Thanos attacked. They're just observing. Much like how the Eternals are also useless because they're just observing. Yes, the MCU, much like other comic worlds, are full of useless beings. We could help you, but we don't want to because we're useless. There's your answer. The Metroport name drop was probably the best thing before the fight scenes. But yeah, but Hathor's her avatar sets up sets up Mark to be like, hey, there's one person that can help you. The gods don't know the resting place of Amud, right? But if you go to the tomb of a magi known as Senku, Senku was tasked by the gods to know where the resting place was, just in case the gods wanted to show mercy and forgive Amud, which we all know did not happen. But again, maybe time flows differently for these useless beings. Maybe 100,000 years is just a month to these useless dummies. But yes, uh, that's the next thing. And somehow Mark ends up getting meeting back with Layla. They talk out their issues, which is a good thing. That's one of the good parts in here. The acting is one of the best parts in here. Like listening to Mark and Layla talk about, well, how come you didn't talk to me? I just didn't. And he even says, let's put all our shit aside so we can finish this. And inadvertently, they don't really put it aside. They kind of address it. She's like, why didn't you tell me about Steven? We both know I'm not good at that, which is something I said in the first episode review. He's not good at talking. That's the truth. They're both also very selfish. That's also the truth. No, I said that in the second episode review. But yeah, it's true. And I'm glad they were able to address that. Another thing that we're coming to address outside of Madripoor, the person that they had dealings with to get to this tomb, apparently he is the dark side of what Layla's doing. This guy keeps all these things. He says, I'm claiming it back from, from the bad people, but it's just in your private collection. You're no different. We have 2 times that we've had to rely on Steven. And Steven understands all this Egyptian stuff. It seems like better than Layla, which is kind of crazy. But he understands a lot of this. And she even says, get Steven. Mark's whole thing is, I cannot give this dude my body because he will not give the body back. And even asks her for a little long time to talk to him. Steven's trying to help him decipher the map that's on the body, which I guess pisses the bad guys off, because then they got guns drawn. But I do like how cool Mark is. Like this enforcer Beck, bald black guy, he pulls the gun. Mark flips the stuff and is ready to go, right? But they got Layla at gunpoint. Arthur Harrow shows up again, which it was teased already because they were on the boat. They saw a shadowy people in the boat already. They said it's probably more of Harrow's people to make sure that we don't succeed in what we're looking for. And this is when they were storing their bags and stuff at the port. Harrow promises this guy power. He shows him part of, Amut's power with his cane. I guess his whole thing. I thought he was going to resurrect the mummy. And Khonshu's like, summon the suit. Kill them. What are you doing? Summon the suit. And even I'm going, yeah, what are you doing? You can just kill this guy right here and end all this. Forget it. You've already killed people before. Just go for the gusto. Dude destroys the mummy, destroys the sarcophagus, because I guess he thought that all the secrets would be on the sarcophagus, but shows how stupid Arthur Harrow is. And then we get a really good fight scene. It's really nice. We also see that Moon Knight is like Dante from Devil May Cry. The bad guy was taking jousting lessons, Egyptian jousting lessons, and all these people start stabbing Moon Knight. Once Moon Knight is dispatching folks to give Layla time to grab all the stuff they need, this dude gets stabbed, and he's not dead. I guess that's what happens when you have on the ceremonial armor. You don't die from stuff like that. But wow, I didn't expect that. I expected super healing and mystical stuff. I didn't know that would work. We get another comedic moment where Steven's like, no, I'm taking the body. And he takes over the body. He's in the Mr. Knight outfit. We do see Mr. Knight twice. And he's like, guys, can we talk it over, please? And once he gets stabbed, then he's like, take the body back, take the body back. I guess Steven's going to be our comic relief. It's just, he's annoying. He's more annoying than Mark's lying. That is the truth. It's not really a recap. I'm just talking about interesting points. What's another interesting point? Harrow does mention that apparently Mark, it seems that Mark may have killed Layla's dad. And Layla's just, again, she addresses, once I think I found one secret out about you, then there's another thing. And I realize I don't know you. And Mark's like, yeah, you don't know me. And it's pretty sad. She's crying. He's upset. Can't tell if Steven in the reflection's sad, but who cares about Steven? I'm kidding. But I think Mark may have killed her dad. I'm going to assume that he was taken over by something, and that's why he had to kill her dad. Or maybe her dad was working with some bad people. Or maybe her dad got killed by the bad people that they were working with. Meh, who knows, right? I've already said how I feel about Steven and Mark. Killed Layla's dad, who knows? Apparently Harrow's powers are just being able to look into people's heart and souls. Because apparently the reason why Layla did all her hopping is because of the death of her dad. She's like, I never told anybody that. Well, this is an episode where stuff doesn't make sense. I don't know what to tell you, Layla. Fight scene was great, though. Again, Moon Knight. Once Layla was about to get killed by the rich guy, he just jumps into action. It's like, nah, I'm going to kill all four of you. Run, grab her, and then throw a crescent blade at this guy and kill him while he's on the horse. Or will it hit him? I'm going to assume it killed him. Moon Knight's great. Moon Knight's cool. I like Moon Knight. We do get another moment where they have to find where's this tomb. Again, they've been tracked by the bad guys. They're everywhere. Like they're like, yep, they're in the fortress, or no, they're here. They passed by. And the trick that they have to do is they call Steven. Even Khonshu's like, I summon the gods, you summon the worm. You're not gonna get your body back. And just Khonshu is disrespectful to Steven. Granted. Well, see, I was going to say, granted, Steven did call him a pigeon, but she also called him a worm first in episodes 1 and 2. So, it's warranted. Now, Mark says, hey, come on in. He lets him come on in. He's like, hey, we need to solve all this. We got to save people. And then they come up with, this is one of the smartest moments in the show, where Steven's like, yeah, it's a constellation, but here's the problem. stars move over time. There's no way that we can find the constellation and this will be where we are because we could be hundreds of kilometers away from where we need to be. And Khonshu says, I remember what the stars looked like that night. I remember every night. And I'm like, ooh, that sounds like a curse, right? So he needs Steven's help. Invoking the power of Khonshu, we get Mr. Night Outfit again, and they literally spin the sky back. So Layla can use this top of the line technology. It kind of looks like the same technology that Jane Foster was using in Thor. You know, those little, I call them Stark pads because come on, Stark probably made all this stuff. And she's able to, line up and find where the constellation was before. But unfortunately, Khonshu's like, hey, they're going to put me in stone once I do this. So tell Mark to free me. I'm like, oh, well, so it must be easy to free you. It's only episode 3. We got 3 more episodes to go, so obviously Khonshu has to be freed. I'm pretty sure Amuk will probably be freed, and Dude will be an evil Moon Knight, which there is an evil Moon Knight. I just don't remember. I think his name's Moonshade. I think that's his name. Arthur Harrow might turn to Moonshade. I'm calling it now. Regardless of all these things, Khonshu is then put in the stone. The bad guys, the gods, you see them all in a circle and they form the stone and it's Khonshu. They don't have the Moon Knight powers anymore. And Harrow, I don't understand why the avatars and the gods call Harrow and like, yeah, you were right about Khonshu, he's a bad dude, even though we sit here and I hope that within these last episodes there's a scene where Khonshu and Mark tell off the rest of the Ennead and call them the idiots and jackasses that they are. Please let there be a scene like that because they're just so dumb. And Harold's like, can he hear us? And he's like, we think he can. He's trash talking this Khonshu statue, saying, yeah, the torment that you put me through is the reason why I'm doing all this. He wants to tell him secret. He likes dealing out the pain on Khonshu's behalf. He's like, it's his greatest sin. Had he not broken him, he might not know the value of healing. Sounds like some stupid, crazy man stuff. You know, he says he's gonna do better than what Khonshu wanted. He's gonna, when he's finished, he wants him to know that the torment that he forced him in is what caused all this. He owes him this. Can we explain what did Khonshu do to Arthur Harrow that was so bad? Because now at this point, Harrow just seems like a whiny little punk. I'm purposely not saying another word that I want to say. He just seems so whiny. Like, you used me and I was hurt. I'm going to assume, again, this is me assuming things. Please reference this if I'm right. I'm going to assume he was the fist of justice. The fist of justice, fist of vengeance. And it seems like Khonshu picks people who have a righteous need to avenge. Now, I have no idea what Mark wants to avenge. Layla also, obviously wants to avenge her father in his memory. Maybe Harrow wants to avenge his family being killed. And he went out, he beat up bad guys, and when he got to the people that actually killed them, he beat them. But that wasn't enough. He wanted their children to die and their people to die. And Khonshu said, nah, that's not how I operate. They didn't do anything. This dude did. We got the vengeance. And Harrow's like, that's not going to work. I'm tormented. I'm sad. Wah. Because he seems like the kind of guy that goes wah. And that's how he did the split. We don't even know how you're able to split from being one of the gods' avatars. That's another thing that's not explained. Just like it wasn't explained to Mark how the whole Ennead meeting would be. Because Yatil had to tell him, just don't fight it, let him take over. It'll seem strange at first. There's so much that even Mark Spector himself doesn't know. When is the bad guy going to go and give his whole entire speech to Mark and Steven, but like, this is why I'm doing all this, as opposed to, it's the right thing. So, that brings me to the end, what I will rate this episode. Not as good as last episode. I enjoyed it. Do not get me wrong. I enjoyed this episode, but there's so many holes in here that I'm hoping that they get filled for episodes 4 through 6. So, I'm going to give this a 3.5. Initially, I was thinking a 3. I'm going to give it a 3.5 because the Moon Knight fighting was good. I Still don't understand why he needs to show his face to be like Layla. That's a superhero cliche. Stop doing that. I think Spider-Man is probably like the. Did Tom Holland Spider-Man ever take off his mask to call anybody? I need to go back and rewatch all the movies again because I really hope he did. He didn't, and it's annoying to just have the heroes go mask off or mask comes off. Love interest, person I care for. He could have called her name while he had the Moon Knight mask on, but the fighting was great. I was gonna say the dialogue was great, but the acting between Marc and Layla was good. Another little Easter egg: he had to have a fake name. His fake name was Rufio Estrada. Uh, Oscar Isaac's real last name is Estrada. He has a very long last name, but he shortened it down to two. Um, so there's your Easter egg there. But yeah, 3.5 wasn't horrible, but some of the stuff was just kind of dumb. The gods are dumb. The whole trial thing was kind of useless. Just I'm still trying to understand. Humanity turned their backs on us, but we're mad at you for almost showing that we exist. Which is it, right? So please let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. As always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this. And as always, share the video so others can see what a great time we're having. Thank you guys for taking some time out to spend some time with me. Looking forward to next week's Moon Knight. Moon Knight on the whole has been very enjoyable. I'm not gonna let these weird plot holes ruin the enjoyment, but it's just they weren't as good as the first two. As always, be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear a mask, be safe out there, be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk, and I will most definitely see you guys next time.